Hey everybody, Shifu O here. I know it's been a while since I put one of these out, and I just want everybody to know that I thank you for all of your support. Everything that you guys have done, all the inboxes, all the praise that I got at the Grand Slam, people walking up to me that I've never seen before, thanking me for standing up and putting, this out there, and showing me their daughters. And it was just, in some instances, it just made me want to cry sometimes. But I really, really appreciate. I've come back out now. I really wasn't going to do a video until next week, but I've been getting a lot of inboxes. So first, I want to start off with this. I'll tell y'all what this is in a second. But murder. Second-degree murder thrown out, manslaughter second degree, criminal possession of a weapon, solicitation, possession with intent to sell, meter. Oh yeah, there was a meter. This, ladies and gentlemen, this is my record. I don't have to explain anything in here to anyone, for most of it was a long time ago. But I'm putting it out here, for one, to let everybody know that I tell the truth. So if I'm going to tell the truth about someone else, I'm going to tell it about myself. Everything in this folder is true, all except number 9, because that lady got her wig back and her shoes. Okay, so see, everything else on here is true. I put this out there like this, for example, because I'm sick of cowardly people trying to divert attention from themselves and the team diverting the attention, trying to put it on me. I'm not the one who slept with a 16-year-old girl. The truth be told, when I was 16, I didn't sleep with 16-year-old girls. So to be 45 and sleep with a 16-year-old, that equals pedophile. And anyone on the team, or anyone who supports the team, or anything that does anything with the team, is the getaway drivers. I've said this before. I'll say it again. You guys are just ridiculous. Now, the reason I came out early, because I really wasn't going to do nothing until next month, is because this Mr. Chapman, I guess his son is on Team Unity. He came at me with it in an inbox. And, he's saying that Jimmy and I are both leaders in the community and this, that. Don't come at me with Jimmy and I crap, for one. Jimmy and I are two different people. Again, I would never, ever, ever hurt a child. All this stuff in here, never hurt a child. And if it was, it wasn't indirectly. Again, when I was 16, I was not sleeping with 16-year-olds. So that's sick. I don't know if these guys don't have any other teams to go to or whatever. There are plenty other schools in South Carolina, but let's get past that. Then he says that my own son doesn't agree with me. First of all, only one son knows what happened. If the other son, who is in the special forces, finds out about this, Jimmy would be hurt. Jimmy would be hurt. So for you to throw my son and say he doesn't necessarily agree with me. Now, my son may not necessarily agree with me in things that go on in my household, but that's his problem. That's a family matter. I'm not attacking Jimmy Sherman's family matter, but he does everything and has his zombies come at me to keep, the attention off him and what he did. Be a man. Get up there. Okay, I did it. It was wrong. I did it on at least 3 occasions, because that's what the police report says. Bam. Next of all, he states that he has seen the evidence. He has seen the evidence. Okay, so and he can't tell me how he's seen the evidence, but he has seen the evidence that Jimmy Sherman and my daughter did not have a relationship. So what you're telling me is that me, my ex, and everybody else involved sat here and told my daughter, look, here's what you're going to do. You're going to sit here and you're going to lie on Jimmy Sherman. And you're going to say this and you're going to say that. And if you don't, we're going to disfellowship you from the family. Really? And you guys are falling for that? How dumb are y'all? Let's just be realistic. How dumb are y'all? So now, okay, he says that, he questions my character, and says Cassandra was under pressure, and he doesn't know what Cassandra told me, blah, blah, blah. I know what she told the police. I know that my daughter is in therapy. Why would that money be spent? Why would we go through such elaborate scheme for what? A Jimmy Sherman? Okay, and Jimmy Sherman can't even get the story right. First, it's like, okay, y'all know Remilio. Shifu, he got problems, this, that, and the other. There's something wrong with him, this, that, and the other. He's making the whole thing up. Then the story is, okay, my ex got mad at him and put Cassandra, put my daughter up to it. Okay, no. Then some other story comes out that he and my ex had something going on and she got mad and, you know, put my daughter up to that. First of all, that is so ridiculous because as much as I dislike my ex, I would never, ever known her to do anything as malice as that. For one. Two, that just doesn't make sense. You guys are a bunch of clowns. So this guy is telling me that I'm not a warrior, I'm not this, I'm not that. 35 videos I put up. Make this 36, punk. So, Cassandra was under pressure. Jimmy Sherman is a leader in the community. This, that, and the other. How come everybody... Let me put this out there to you. Jimmy Sherman has went under the radar. He's making phone calls. He's doing this, asking people to do seminars, and, you know, all under the table and saying this is not true. Why admit to the police that you had a relationship with my 16-year-old daughter? You don't admit it at 15, but why admit at 16? Why do that? You have girlfriends that have contacted me that you have broken up with, who left you because they thought something was going on. There was inappropriate activities. There's other people who families you broke up. You know, people got divorced because of your stupid self. You know, you guys think that y'all know everything that's going on and that Jimmy Sherman is a snake. And for the last time, well, not the last time, this is a warning. Everybody in South Carolina should be watching out for this dude. He came on when we first came to Unity. You know, Jimmy said this, he said that. I mean, from our first conversation, he told me, you know, I was a sheriff, I was this is my house, I paid this, I'm struggling to do this, but I've got this, and Team Unity is this and that and the other thing. He doesn't tell you how many people he jerked out of money to do this. Okay, that's not necessarily a crime. Nobody reported it. Gravy. That's not his house. That's one of the things we go in a house. Wow, that's a great house. Lied to us and said, you know, this is my house. Not even your house. Guess what? That's not a crime too. Jimmy Sherman himself has told me so many elaborate stories about him being a sheriff, telling me about car chases and this, that, and the other. He's tried to get apartments as a sheriff and it failed. But at the same time, you got a record. That's the only reason putting his record up there is to show people, because I'm sure many of you, he told the same thing. Yeah, he's a sheriff, this, that, and the other. How could you have a sheriff with felonies? You can't do it. You can't do it at all. So, you know, I put that up there. People still, you know, want to believe his crap. You know, and then you're going to sit here and give people all different kinds of stories about why this is happening. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if I had a beef other than this with Jimmy Sherman, you know, why wasn't it brought out a long time ago? For one, if I had a beef with you, why are you inviting me to spend the night in your house? If I had a beef with you, Why would you have done all these things? There was no beef with Jimmy Sherman and I. The beef became a beef the second you sleep with my daughter. That's the only problem I had with him. And then from the first video, started putting this stuff out. Then he got with some investors with mine, and he started, schooling my ex and this, that, and the other. It all just became one big ugly mess with Jimmy Sherman behind the driver's wheel. How come it is when people hear about this and they hear about Jimmy Sherman and this situation, 99% of the people that contact me say they're not surprised? Because there was always some incident with Jimmy doing something that was inappropriate. Okay, so don't do that. Don't come with me. And then, this guy's talking about, well, if you put up anything else, we're going to start replying back. Yeah, you guys, because Jimmy Sherman is such a punk, he can't reply. Jimmy Sherman is such a punk, he cannot face me because he knows that I am telling the truth. You guys know I am telling the truth. And then he's talking about that he's a lion and I'm a circus. But yet I see them at the Grand Slam and there was nothing but space and opportunity between us. And, nothing. So we're not even going to go with that. I'm not going to threaten nobody. I'm not going to do any of that. Everybody knows who I am, what I did, what I do, where I'm from. Plain and simple. And we're just going to leave that at that. Because this inbox stuff that was sent to me, this guy is a clown. He's absolutely clown. But I see why. I see why he's a clown. His son is training with Jimmy Sherman. And they want to believe. They don't want to believe this stuff. But I lived it. And I'm here to tell you guys, if it can happen to someone like me, it can happen to each and every one of you. And my job is to make sure that everybody knows what happened and what to learn from. And how to talk to your children about it. And the same thing Jimmy Sherman is doing now is the same thing that pedophiles do. He has to pedo. They want to stay under the radar. They want to, keep people out of the truth. They want to block the truth from everybody else being heard about it. But the last point I'm going to make on this video is that once this all came out, my ex and I both came together and said, okay, Cassandra cannot have a phone. So she didn't have a phone. So think about it. It's not just my ex. It's not just me. She calls Brian Plimple, who has nothing to do with it. Tells Brian that her and Jimmy are in love. That's what Jimmy made her believe. Jimmy was telling my daughter how they were going to be together, how they loved her, how they need to get me out the picture. All this stuff Jimmy was feeding her. And it wasn't just since she turned 16. He's been feeding her this all along. It's at that point that, beware of Trojans bearing gifts. Because Jimmy would offer me the world, help me out financially, this, that, and the other. And all the time, he's talking about me like I'm the devil himself. I had no idea he was even doing that. I thought he was a friend. But he was talking about me since we met. How did you do that, invite me into your home, and then talk about me like a dog? I didn't tell Dave what he said about Dave and his son. I don't tell Wayne what he said about Wayne. Me and other people have talked about what Jimmy has said about them. Jimmy has thrown everybody under the bus. He is worse than a fifth grade little girl, but yet he calls what I do childish because it's affecting him. I won't stop, people. I can't stop. I can't stop until everybody knows what this man has done and what he's doing and not taking responsibility for. Okay, fine. If it wasn't when she was 15, it was definitely when she was 16. He admits it. She admits it. It's not illegal where it happened at. Not much I can do there. Text messages say it all. Everything I have outlined says it all. Him throwing Sergio under the bus to divert attention from him is the same crap he's doing now. So now he has his little gangsters doing the work for him, recruiting and doing everything for him. All they're doing is supporting my theory. 16 and 45 it only equals pedophile. But I thank all of you. I mean, it warmed my heart at the Grand Slam in Virginia to how many people came up to me and applauded me and thanked me and told me how they learned how to talk to their daughters, and they watch when you're in the hotels and all that. You watch and you know what to watch for now. And in most instances, you know who to look for. And with that, my job is done alone. But I am so far from finished. I'm just getting my second win. Before I started to look bad, my rage is still there, but it's under control. I'm in love. There's just so much going on. The new school, everything is, but I will not let this go. I will not let this go. Evil will never, ever, ever win over good. So if you want to support Team Unity or be on Team Unity, go right ahead. But everybody there, when they looked at the Unity label, the first thing they said, oh, there's Team Pedophile. And I am so glad that is sticking. Because until people realize that I have told the truth, I've told my own truth, there's no reason. And it just makes no sense what he's saying. His story changes every single time and nobody sees that. Then they have outings on the beach. Who the hell would go to the beach with Jimmy Sherman and have an outing? And then you're supposed to be opening a school in a center that I don't think that's going to happen. But if it does happen, we're going to make sure I'm not going to let the left hand tell the right hand what it's doing anymore. But for the rest of your life, until you admit what you did and the mistakes you made and vindicate what you did to my daughter, vindicate her, because right now you're calling her a liar. And if anything, that pisses me off. I think my daughter is the bravest chick to walk the planet Earth because she called your behind out. Not because anybody threatened her, because the one thing her brothers and sisters would not do is threaten her. They would be all on your behind, like white on rice, stink on crap, and ugly on a gorilla. They would not come after their own sister. So forget what you think you know and what you're being told, because it's all lies. Again, I thank you guys. I thank for all the support. Speedy, you my boy, Brian Plimple, Jerry Fontanez, who came to my side from day one. And everybody from day one who used their head and said, you know what? This dude is telling the truth. I know Jimmy Sherman. Jimmy Sherman did this. Jimmy Sherman did this. A lot of you know what Jimmy Sherman has done in the past also and kept quiet. I'm not going to keep quiet because everybody needs to know so this doesn't happen to someone else. With that, peace, everybody. Shifu, I won't be back. I'll be back sooner than I have been. But Shifu's been getting his life together. Shifu has been doing what needed to be done that I let go. And I'm loving my life. I'm loving the people in it. My circle has gotten smaller. And I love it. I love it. And people love me. And for the most part, everyone knows when it comes to this situation with Jimmy Sherman, I am 100% telling the truth. I will say that I did speak to one of the leaders of Unity, and I understand what his purpose and what he wants to do. But he is one of the most talented people on the team, and he needs to start his own. He does not need to pick up the trash of someone who is the scum of the earth. With that, Shifu say, peace out. Love you all.